Hi there folks, welcome back to Rich Reviews. So my latest TV show for you guys here now, and this might be the last TV show of the year, although there could be one other one depending on how I feel about it. And this is a co-production from HBO Max and the BBC, and no one does true crime like the British, although some shows are better than others. And this is called Landscapers. It's a 4-part series, and this is written by Ed Sinclair and directed by Will Sharp, who happened to make The Electrical Life of Louis Wayne. Now, let me state the following. If this premiered on Masterpiece, this probably would be a much more straightforward retelling of what I'm about to say. Olivia Colman and David Thewlis, and apparently Ed Sinclair is married to Olivia Colman, so how about that? Olivia Colman's husband gets work. What a great way to be in Hollywood here, folks. They play Susan and Christopher Edwards, who in 1998 murder Susan's parents, the Wycherleys, and then bury them in their backyard. And then, of course, they keep the ruse going. They cash their checks, and obviously they go over to live in France now, and also the fact that they sell their house and obviously keep up the ruse for a better part of a long while that, oh yeah, they are alive. Although at least at one point, some administrative people wanted to check in on Susan's father because he had managed to live to the age of 100 and no one had seen them in a while. And so, hey look, you want to see if a 100-year-old person is living to his fullest extent, that obviously would create some problems. As they are living in France, they live off that money. And obviously when as we see them in the beginning, they're one of those average couples that if you occasionally see them holding hands in the park, you might say, oh, and then move on. And there's something really extraordinary about these people. She has a very expensive taste. At least at one point, she acquires a Gary Cooper poster of High Noon, I think it is. He has a correspondence with Gerard Depardieu, which we come to learn later on what the actual story is behind that one. Christopher is incapable of getting a job in France because obviously of the language barrier, and she's always upbeat, always convinced that, oh yeah, you're going to get a job eventually. Obviously he's not. Now, of course, eventually what happens is that they, are in desperate need of money. Christopher informs, hey look, his stepmother, hey look, that there is a body buried in the backyard. The police are called here, they find the bodies, and obviously they want Susan and Christopher to come in and tell their side of the story here. Masterpiece Theater did the same thing here. It would be a straightforward telling, but what Ed Sinclair does is provide some really odd touches that either you think work or it doesn't. Now, first and foremost, when they get to England, Christopher says, okay, we tell the truth. Obviously, they're not going to tell the truth because they're criminals. And obviously, in the beginning, they say, this is a true story. And then obviously, truth, disappears. They deny that they are involved in the current crime. And obviously, they're presented as relatively nice people, easily forthcoming. Obviously, the police in real life had a different opinion about them, that they were cold, manipulative people that wanted to live off money, more or less. Sort of a meta streaming tale here of like a production within a production type of thing, because first and foremost, we are at least open up with the fact that, oh yeah, this is a current production that they're making. At least at one point, they go from set to set in a visual style that, okay, that is highly somewhat amusing. Everything is sort of presented Western in the vein of what Gary Cooper used to do with his own Westerns. There's some black and white sequences, and obviously they recreate the murder scene with the actual actors, and obviously after that being shot, they get back up. It's obviously delayed that at least David Stewell's character is beginning to hang himself with every, sort of story that he creates. Whether or not Susan's parents were actually abusive towards her, clearly, hey look, that might have actually happened, but there's no excuse for murdering people just to get their money. The police here, hey look, they're always competent. They have to be competent, or otherwise here they would be presented as idiots because, hey look, sometimes the police are doing the best job they can, and given the current set of circumstances, they do the best job possible. I believe he called him this a public defender, and he is a thoroughly nice individual. Overall, I think this is a fine series. I don't claim it's the best thing I've seen all year, because quite frankly, there's a whole lot of stuff here that I haven't watched that people apparently have loved that I would like to get to, but haven't. Actually, due to the fact that I do have a job, and sometimes I would like nothing more to than just sit down and watch a series. Folks, Landscapers, have you seen this? What'd you think? Please put everything in comment box below here, folks. As always, folks, like, comment, subscribe, enrich yourself with knowledge. I'll see you next time, folks. And the remaining stuff of this year is all gonna be films, so stay tuned for that. As always, folks, I'll see you next time. Yes, hooray.